go live, and we're back on a glorious hump day.
It's a Wednesday?
It is a Wednesday. I think so. Let me double check my. I was gonna say I don't wear a watch, so
Dude, I feel like we're late. Um, Probably thanks to you. Um,
probably.
Welcome back on a Wednesday. It is way later than we usually go.
Hmm.
Welcome to the Legends Clubhouse. The clubhouse didn't open until 9 a.m. this morning. Um, I am Bobby Caboose, as always. Mr. Underscore himself, Lawson Turner. What's going on, man?
Bro, so I know on Wednesdays we don't like we will tippy toe in sports, but we kind of try and stay a little bit more outside. But I just got to get this shitty betting story.
Off your chest.
Yeah, like so for those who don't know, the NBA is officially back. The Thunder played okay. My dumbass was about to say the Thunder played OKC. That's how
They did play OKC. The Thunder did play OKC because they did play them because they took them into double overtime.
let me
They played the entire city of OKC and made them stay up late.
let me get to that. So when the lineup when the starting lineups came up or came out 2 days ago, it was okay. Amon Thompson 6'7", Durant 6'11", Jabari Smith 6'11", Sengun 6'11", Steven Adams 6'11". I'm like, okay, that is the it's
Fill out
the
6'11.
6'7". Um, it's one of the tallest, longest starting lineups that I could ever remember, and they were saying on the telecast that it's the tallest average height since like 1971, 70, somewhere around there. And
Bullshit. Can't be because it can't be because there was the Washington Bullets. I just saw this yesterday, like 95, 96. George Marison was starting at like center. He was like 7'7". Then you had Juwan Howard, who's like near 7 foot. Then you had Chris Webber, who's near 7 foot, and then you had two guards. So that has to,
I,
you know.
once again, I didn't do my maths on it, but that's just what the NBC telecast was saying
Well,
yesterday.
Doris Burke is wrong.
Huh?
Doris Burke is wrong.
She wasn't on the telecast. She doesn't work for NBC. She works for ESPN. Anyways,
Oh, whatever.
so,
She,
huh?
her or whoever reported it is wrong.
Anyways, so I was thinking about it. I was like, you know what? I could see Shea Gilgis Alexander, having a really slow, difficult, time in this game due to the length. So what did I do? I'm scrolling through my sports book and the DFS apps I use. I'm like, okay, his points are at 31 and a half. Now, granted, he did average 30 plus last year, but I'm like, it's a lot of length. It's going to be real tough for him to, hit that 30 mark. So I took under 31 and a half. I also took under 32 and a half, and I took under 24 and a half shots, right? So I don't know how good you are at math, but I'm about to tell you quarter by quarter what this duty head did. First quarter, played the entire all 12 minutes, 3 points, 3 shots. I'm like, okay, it's fine, it's cool. Second quarter, 2 minutes, 2 shots. So that he's at 5 points and 5 shots at half. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Should be, easy under, right? Third quarter, 6 points, 7 shots. So if you're doing the math, he's at 18 points and 12 shots.
12 shots. 18 points and 12 shots through what, three?
Yep. Should be, really easy unless he goes crazy. Fourth quarter happens, 12 points, 5 shots. And Kevin Durant missed what would have been a game. It wouldn't be winning because he got fouled with 8-9 seconds left, and he missed the first one, made the second one, so it was only a 2 point game, and Shea forced overtime. But once again, even if Durant missed, well, he did miss, the first free throw. He makes it. Okay, so he has to take a three. They probably lose in regulation, but even with it going to overtime, he's still at, for the people doing math, he's at 23 points. And what did I say? Shots 12, 17 shots. I'm like, okay, 8 shots in 5 minutes is kind of going to be tough. And as long as he doesn't, explode for another, you know, 15 points or however many he had at the time, I'm still flabbergasted, just due
You would need
to this.
9 points.
Yeah.
You're both your unders.
And 8 shots. 5 minutes, 5 points, 6 shots in the first overtime. I'm like, there's no way Buddy's not scoring at least 4 points and shooting the ball twice in the second overtime. Second overtime, 7 points, 3 shots. I'm like, great. Like that is why overtimes kill betters.
Oh
But
yeah, absolutely. They
but
kill
it,
unders.
dude, 110%. But I will say it was an awesome game to watch, and so for a basketball fan, it was super exciting. The thing to me for Houston, they look just so out of sorts. And I was texting with some friends during the game, like they tuned in late, and they were like, "I don't know if the chemistry is just off or something." I'm like, "Well, you have Fred VanVleet as your starting point guard. He tears up his knee, so you are putting, not you're putting non-traditional ball handlers in, in distributing roles. So it's obviously just going to look clunky."
Oh,
Yes.
I thought you were continuing it.
Oh,
Clunky. Yep.
no, it was just
Of
look
course.
clunky.
Yes. But hey, did you see that Kevin Durant almost pulled a Chris Webber, and
Bro,
I wish that would have happened.
it would have made it even more funny. That also would have cashed my fucking,
Uh,
my shit. Dude, right when he grabbed the rebound and went like, like the tap for the timeout,
mhm.
and Sengun went in front of him to, cover it up. I'm like, they ain't got no timeouts. They ain't got no
Yeah.
timeouts.
Um, because everyone knows KD not only is active on X, but he's got burner accounts and shit. I would, he that shit would have just exploded, man. It would have been funny as fuck.
Hmm.
Because people would have been all over his case. Because I used to be a KD fan, but like he just kind of seems like a little bit of a whiny bitch online. So like I'm not really as a fan of his anymore. And he jumps on more teams than fucking. It seems like Josh Johnson. Um, but he's a superstar. So it's just weird, man. I don't like how he switches so like he's it's like sixth team,
Yeah,
something like that.
fifth,
Every color of
16th,
the
yeah.
rainbow, like Jesus Christ, man.
I will say one thing though about the burners. I love how a couple years ago he came out and was like, yeah, I was using burners, and now he just does all his shit on his main account.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. They just
which makes
he
it even,
talks shit at Anthony Edwards or whatever, and
or
whoever.
literally some random Joe Schmo on Twitter,
Yeah,
which is hilarious that a player of the caliber of Kevin Durant is
right.
just
I'm
for
supposed he
funs.
gets in our comments, and he's
Dude,
like, "Fuck you." I'm like, "All right, fuck you too." You want to come on the show?
bro, that'd be
You want to come
so,
on the show and talk about your almost timeout? You want to
dude.
come on the show and talk
And
about your rings in Golden State and nowhere else? You want to come on the show and you know
and
talk
dude, speaking of
about Pokemon or something?
speak speaking of Sengun, I don't know what, because
Who the fuck is Sangoon?
now Prince Sengun, the Rockets starting center,
What's his name?
his name is Alperin and his last name is Sengun, but it's pronounced
Alperen.
Shingun. It is spelled Alperen. Yeah, Alperin Shingun.
Cool.
Dude,
Where's he from?
he's from
Serbia?
he's from Turkey.
Oh, that was close.
Yeah, and he's been a really young, up and coming, on the rise player the past couple years. Uh, but I don't know what the hell Kevin Durant taught him, because he's a low post he's a low post, interior center who can hit threes. He had a career high, he was 5 of 8 from downtown last night. For he had an awesome game, 39 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists. And there was one point in like the fourth quarter, third quarter, where he hit like a tween hezzy pull up like right at the free throw line, and Kevin Durant, who was resting, just kind of got up into like the snarl face, and everyone's like, "What the fuck did Durant teach Sengun? Because we ain't never seen him do a fucking hezzy tween pull up at fucking 6'11", dude."
Do you know the capital of Turkey?
I do not.
It's Istanbul.
Wow.
I think. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Fact check that. I'm pretty sure it's Istanbul.
I,
Um,
I'll fact check that right now.
all right. We won't move on until we know the answer.
We won't move on. What is the capital
It's Istanbul.
of Turkey? It is Ankara.
That's not the capital of Turkey.
Yeah, it is.
It's Istanbul. No, it isn't.
I
What's
just,
the capital of Turkey?
bro. How are you about to ask me? We're not gonna move on till I look it up. I look it up, and you tell me I'm
What's
wrong.
the? No, I'm looking it up because I know that's wrong. Capital. Turkey.
Go ahead, bro.
Oh, it's Ankara. Where's Istanbul? Where? I thought it was Istanbul. Where is Istanbul?
Where is it?
Istanbul is northern Turkey. The fuck? Do they have two capitals? I don't know.
You,
That might be the fucking biggest city in there.
I was about to
It's the
say.
largest city in
I was
Turkey.
about to say. You know, it's also funny. Like right underneath the search bar, it said people also ask, "Does Turkey have two capitals?" I don't know if you see it, but yeah, bro. When I googled it, if you scroll down like 2 seconds, it'll be like people also ask, and yeah, the top thing was, "Does Turkey have two capitals?" But
You know the official language of Istanbul?
no,
It's Turkish, dude. What the fuck? Like, how do you not know that? It's Turkish.
sorry.
They also speak English.
I was about to say, I'm sorry, I've never been there. My bad.
Well, maybe you should go. Maybe you should be more culturally sound.
And
Um,
I've heard it's a beautiful place.
So, what were you? Oh, Kevin Durant
Yeah,
and
Sangoon,
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 or San,
Sangoon, kid.
um, yeah, Sangoon. Yeah, that's weird. Did was Jalen Green in that trade?
Yeah, so he's now at Phoenix.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, there goes. That was a weird trade. I remember just seeing that because I'm like, okay. I think you covered it. I think you wrote an article
Yeah.
for one place or the other, whether it was ours or theirs.
Mm-hmm.
But to me that was a weird trade because like the Rockets were good last year. They were like the second seed, weren't they? Or the first seed?
They won 50 games, and I think they were the 3 seed. They might have been the 2 seed. Let me double check that. But yeah, it's like it's really interesting because Jalen Green is a freak athlete who's he's a young inefficient player, but the team was so
Efficient?
huh?
You said inefficient?
Yes,
So he's not efficient?
correct. The
Okay.
the roster ended up being obvious. They won 52 games and were the 2 seed last season. How the roster evolved into a win now, it's like, okay, well, we towards the end of last year, and last year they were an excellent defensive team. They didn't have any like just get a bucket guys,
Yeah.
which in theory that's what you bring in a player like Durant that kind of fixes a lot of your half court issues. Like when they got upset by Golden State in the first round, they were like 8 minute, like 6 8 minute stretches where it's just like, dude, if it's not in transition, they struggle in the half court,
Well, why didn't they just go get a guy instead of
shipping everything
like
out.
yeah, depleting half their roster to get a guy. Like they should have went and got they should have asked if fucking Devin Booker was available or insert scoring legend.
Yeah, pure score. Yeah,
Go get freaking Steve Francis back, the franchise. Go get Katino Mobley. Go get Tracy McGrady.
the
Yao Ming.
the thing with the I feel as if they were just too, like, the Jalen Green experiment was just kind of ran its course.
Well, because I know there was a big debate, like Cade Cunningham or Jalen Green.
Yeah, when they were coming
Those are
out.
1, 2. And we picked Cade, and then Jalen Green was like, "Oh, I'm gonna remember this." Okay, motherfucker, you can remember it as many times as you get traded.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I was really like after seeing them play. I think it was like 1 year that I was like, man, did we make the right decision? Because Jalen Green's like rocking and Cade's always hurt, but now Cade is like borderline superstar, and
I
I'm glad
just
that the Stones took the Cunningham man.
According to the chat, your net worth just went down -10%. I assume because you didn't know where Istanbul was.
I said it was in Turkey.
Listen,
There's two capitals.
I
I didn't know there's a northern Turkey and a southern Turkey. I thought it was all one bird.
I thought it was
And it's
all
all
one bird.
stuffed by Istanbul.
It's up here by the gizzard.
Yeah, it's getting stuffed by Istanbul. That's the stuffing.
That's the stuffing.
And Ankara is the gravy.
You might be onto something.
I am. I am on something. Do you know why we have turkey on Thanksgiving? It's because of Istanbul. I don't think that's true, but whatever.
I'm not a huge turkey on Thanksgiving person. Well,
Dude,
obviously,
I mean, we'll talk about that probably closer to Thanksgiving, but
yeah.
same. I like ham, and it better not be honey baked ham.
Just no sweetness.
Yeah, honey baked ham's gross, dude.
We can get into that at when we get closer to Thanksgiving. But so to lightly touch on the late night game, so have there were only 2 games.
I'm surprised you even watched because your boyfriend wasn't playing.
Yeah,
I'm guaranteeing his son wasn't playing. So why the fuck were you watching it?
Because Luca Legend was playing, and I wanted to watch it.
Did he get over 30?
Yeah, he had 43, 12, and 9.
That was so like on the radio they'll be like, for like the different sports books they'll advertise like, oh, the best bet. And it like yesterday's was Luka over 30.5 points.
Yeah, he was, I think at half he had 22. Yeah, at half he had 22, and through 3 quarters he had 35. It's the only thing that is obviously with adding DeAndre Ayton and like they had 19 turnovers and missed 11 free throws and lost by 10. And
so that reminds me of one of my games back in the day when I was a baller shot caller, 20-inch blades on the Impala. When I was a young lad and I was tearing up the minor leagues of the NBA at the local field house, Joe Dumar's field house, by the way. So it had some name behind it. But hey, there was one game where our best player wasn't there. So someone had to step up, and that someone happened to be the Boost. And at halftime, we were up like I think like 28-18, and I had 20 of our points. I outscored the other team by myself. I was on fucking fire, dude. I was hitting threes like a motherfucker.
What happened in the second half?
Second half, I think I ended the game with like 28 points. I think that was the most points I've ever scored in a game. But we ended up beating them pretty good. But other people started because they started like double teaming me in the second half. Like so, not to be like I'm fucking awesome, but I was that night. Probably average like 7 points a game.
The chat just keeps hating on our net worth. Well, Lawson just went down in I assume that's net worth and not net worth by 25%, and Bobby another 10%. And yeah, it was because he ain't and I quote, because he ain't know the capital and argued it. LOL.
Well, guess what? It's in the same fucking country, and guess what? They may have 2 capitals. If Google has it as a very often question, then I'm not the only dumbass in the fucking room. So guess what? We're gonna go with Istanbul as the fucking capital.
It's the honorary capital for today.
What's the capital of Michigan? Do you know the capital of Michigan?
No.
How do you not know the capital of Michigan?
For what? I don't live
What
there.
do you think the capital of Michigan is?
Detroit?
No, it's Lansing, you idiot.
Lansing?
Just like Lansing, yep. It's like in the middle of the fucking state. It's close to Michigan State.
It makes me laugh every time you do the mitten, because before you brought that up, once again, if someone,
You didn't know that Michigan was shaped like a mitten?
I just never thought about it.
God damn.
Like
That's
I'm
like
not, like I'm not.
it's like how Louisiana is shaped like a boot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that.
Well,
And Michigan looks more like a mitten than Louisiana looks like a boot.
well, listen. I don't mind or pay much attention to the upper side. Fucking, I'm not looking at a map and like, you know what? That looks like a
Okay,
fucking mitten.
okay, you Confederate. Like shit, dude. What are we doing here? We're not one nation. You only care about your South.
It just never popped in.
Fried chicken. Get the fuck out of here. Your
It just never popped in my
grits and
mind.
gravy or whatever the fuck you have down there. Oh man.
Waffle
You
House,
know what?
man.
You know what the capital of Georgia is? It's Atlanta.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know that. You know why? Because I'm fucking intelligent and I know the fucking capitals of the states.
I tip my cap.
I probably know I probably know 45 capitals, like for sure, and then there's probably five that I would have to think about.
Yeah, geography and all that shit in school was not
I
like
feel
a
like you didn't
super
go to
thing.
school at all, dude. You didn't know Istanbul, you didn't know Lansing, you didn't know Atlanta.
Istanbul was not the fucking
You didn't know
capital.
Mitten. You didn't know Mitten.
Do you or do you not mitten?
Yeah, do you not Mitten or do you not Mitten?
It's kind of like the it's Nerf or nothing commercial.
Exactly, dude. How are you
Dude,
gonna throw a Nerf ball without your mitten? It's the hand of the United States. That's why Ohio is the butthole of the United States because the hand is about to wipe it.
dude. Speaking of mittens, uh, my dad used to tell this joke to my mom because he never told the joke to me, but he would always just relay it. So I heard it from her, but she got it from my dad. And apparently he said there are two things that you can never look manly doing, and it's drinking out of a straw and wearing mittens.
Or eating a banana. There's a third one.
I did. He didn't add that one, but yeah, he was like, "There's two things you can't look manly doing, and it's drinking out of a straw and wearing fucking mittens."
Dude, mittens are weird, man. I would never wear mittens.
Fucking
Fucking weird. Especially the ones that like have the little connectors, like that you can connect them, and you're like, hey, my mittens are connected, so I don't lose them.
you, you better hope you don't have to pick up shit because you can't use your fucking fingers.
Yeah, dude. What are you doing, Vader? It's Vader time.
It's Vader.
Huh?
Yeah, though,
Do you
but
know who
fuck it.
Vader is?
The wrestler?
Yes.
Yeah,
All right. Just wondering.
yeah,
He
dude.
kind of died like probably you know sort of
He
you
kind
know
of
when-
he kind of
I forget when he
died.
died, but like and he didn't wrestle while you were alive, so
Mm,
I'm surprised that you knew who he was.
hey,
He was my he was like when I first started wrestling, watching wrestling. I started really watching wrestling probably in '93.
mm,
Um, and I had probably seen a couple matches before then. I was probably about 6 years old when I started watching it regularly. And Vader was one of my favorites because like he was like a big dude. He was fucking athletic. He was a heel, so I was a little scared of him, and I wanted Hulk Hogan to beat him. But I digress. Or Sting. But he was fucking awesome. Vader, like I've been thinking about this show topic that we could do,
mm.
and it's like a top 10 wrestlers that like people don't think of but are some of your favorites, and Vader would be right on the top of the list for me because
Hmm.
the Mastodon was fucking awesome.
Dude, like I remember when I first got into wrestling, my dad obviously like watched wrestling, in the 90s and 80s and stuff like that. So I kind of got like a historian perspective, and I'll never forget. And I I think I've told the story a couple times. Um,
You'll
when
never forget Bruno Sammartino lost the title after 7 years in the '70s.
never, never forget.
You'll never forget that. Good.
Never. I remember when my dad first kind of took a little bit of the mystique away from wrestling. When Sin Cara was a wrestler, and he was like jumping from like off the trampoline, and I was like, as a kid, I didn't, see the angle, and I was like, wow, he's flying, and he's like, there's a little trampoline on the other side where you can't see right, and I was like, oh, and then another one that motherfucker did. When Alberto Del Rio was wrestling, he'd come out in these fancy cars. I'm like, this dude's balling. He's got all these crazy ass cars every week. Never seen him in the same car twice. And my dad's like, those aren't his, right? And I was like, what? He's like, they just rent them for like that show. And I'm like,
no, Dad, they're his.
Yeah.
JBL is telling me that those are his cars.
Yeah, his nickname is the Mexican Aristocrat, and hold on, what JBL call him? Mexico's greatest export.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%, dude. And all those cars were his, dude. I bet you go to his house, I bet he's got like a 50-car garage.
Dude, I 100% did not see him a couple months ago on TikTok wrestling in a gym, like a high school gym.
Well, yeah, but he's back now. He's better now. I think he's in like AAA.
Yeah.
And like JBL claims JBL's like, I saw him a few weeks or probably a few months ago now, but they did like this AAA show, and he was like, I think Alberto Del Rio is this, and I'm quoting JBL, I'm not making shit up, on the podcast. He was like, I think Alberto Del Rio is the best wrestler in the world right now. Okay. And I'm like, whoa, that's pretty impressive.
I was gonna say that's high praise coming from, bro. Every time I see like a JBL compilation, it's just all the wild shit he used to say.
Yeah.
And I'm like
all Mexicans and stuff.
Dude, WWE had some crazy ass storylines back in the day. Dude,
yeah, and like the stuff with JBL is probably tame compared to the stuff that I grew up on.
I don't remember it, or I'm sure you've seen the Vince McMahon documentary, right?
Yes.
The crazy storyline where Vince is like, well, there was a storyline that was brought up that, Stephanie would be pregnant, and then he paused and said, and I think I was and we're like, brother, that pause and saying, I think, stop lying. It was probably your fucking idea, you freak.
Dude, so Vince Russo had a famous idea of I think it was, what WrestleMania was it? Was it 12? It might have been 12, where they had the backlot brawl between Roddy Piper and Goldust, and they had like the OJ chase scene and stuff.
I think I remember you saying this.
There was an idea pitched from Vince Russo to have OJ Simpson in the ring versus Fred Goldman. And whoever knows anything about this, OJ, he wasn't found guilty, but he was the lead suspect of killing his wife, Nicole, and a waiter named Ron Goldman. So Fred Goldman is the father of Ron, and he was still suing him because he won the they didn't win the criminal case, but they won the civil case. So what that meant was that OJ owed Fred Goldman and the Goldman family with millions of dollars, and then he swore up and down that he was going to find their killer and all this shit, and we all know how that ended. He said he was going to die trying to find that killer. So I'm not sure if he found him before he died, but hopefully him and the killer are having a nice cold one in the afterlife. I saw this picture on. I know you didn't grow up in the era of SpongeBob, but there was a scene. There was an episode where he was like the city cop for like a day, and he's talking on his walkie-talkie, and there's most wanted pictures of him, but he's like looking around, and whenever I see that, I always think of I saw it once with a caption, OJ trying to find her killer, and it's like and it's literally he's looking at a picture of a most wanted of himself. 100%. And the idea
but
was to
remember,
give
the glove didn't fit.
it didn't. The idea was to give Fred Goldman either a bat, a gun, or a sword. Or I forget. I don't know if a sword was the third thing, but there was three different things. But it was
Yeah.
a bat, gun, and something else to defend himself against OJ. And they were like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Like, you're talking about a real fucking murder case, and you want to put the two people on the opposite sides in the ring together
Do you remember?
a weapon."
Do you remember when Big Show was choking out? It might have been Chris Benoit. Like before he was about to do the choke slam, he just had had like his hand on his throat, and Kurt Angle's putting a fucking assault, not an assault rifle, but like a fucking rifle out in front of the announce table. Yeah, and I'm like, brother, what? And like,
Yeah.
there's some crazy shit.
They had Brian Pillman they had Stone Cold break into Brian Pillman's house, and Brian Pillman pulled a gun out on him, and then it just like went to fuzzy screen.
Yeah.
And had to apologize to the audience the following week.
One of the things
because USA Network didn't like it.
Yeah, one of the things that I can never like. Obviously, it's scripted entertainment. A lot of it is it's not fake, but it's scripted. There's two completely different things. One of the things that I never understood, like how like Bro survived. In 2009, they had Backlash, the pay-per-view after WrestleMania, and they had Cena versus Edge for the World Heavyweight Championship in a Last Man Standing match. And I don't know if you remember, but at WrestleMania, it was a triple threat match between those two and the Big Show. And Cena ended up, winning. And at Backlash, Big Show just came out of, the back, and for no reason, like, just was about to chokeslam Cena off the ramp, and then threw him through a fucking stage light, and it exploded. And I'm like, bro is dead. Like, I don't there are some things where I'm genuinely like, I don't know how they fake it, but like, you couldn't fake the glass or the explosion or the people that had to come out with fucking fire extinguishers and shit out. Like, bro, what?
Yeah, maybe Big Show was just pissed that day and it was real. And because we can't see John Cena ever since. Yeah. So
it was so funny because like when the camera would like pan towards like where the fucking stage light is shattered, and he's just down for the count, there's just a big hunk of glass, like, just bless you.
Thanks.
There's just a big hunk of glass, like, just laying on his chest, and I'm like, yeah, brother's dead. He's not getting up, and he did not make the 10 count, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. I think Mankind put a forklift and a pallet jack with some kegs on top of The Rock to keep him down.
Should make sense to me.
Or did The Rock do that to Mankind? I think that Mankind did that to The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
I did it for The Rock.
I did it for The Rock. I'm just thinking of all just the goofy ass moments, like when like back when they used to have the Inferno matches where you got to set bro on fire, or like with
like a lot of that shit was like Undertaker based, right? So like, I'm curious if we're ever gonna see
the buried alive matches.
Like the buried alive, the casket, the even like the Hell in the Cell was like for him. Now they can use it anywhere. But like the casket matches, the buried alive, the Inferno match was like for him and Kane. So like I wonder if we're gonna see any of these gimmick matches ever again with the Undertaker being, retired. But my co-host of the 64-bit Legends, Melvin Troy, he's got a great idea. They should just bring in Undertaker 2. It should be like just like a superhero, and like just bring in another guy to play him again, and like you could just be like, oh, did you like the original Undertaker or Undertaker number 2? And that's the dog bargain.
Do you remember when I don't know why I remember this. Do you remember when Damien Sandow was like following the Miz around, and he just kept trying to be the Miz?
Damien Mizdow?
Kind of like that.
Hell Yes. Well, no, not he wouldn't be like he wouldn't be like a stunt double. It would just be like Undertaker. Like it would be like Undertaker comes back, but it's just a different guy. It's like a Marvel character. How like Peter Parker was like
How
Tobey
there's three
Maguire,
how there's three
whoever
Spider-Man.
else. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, whoever the fuck else, or like James Bond. Like how there's like 80 of them. Like we just bring in another Undertaker.
That'd be really interesting. I
But
feel
like
like
make him
in
look like completely different.
no
Just talk.
tattoos.
Yeah, no tattoos. He's like
He's
a
got
big
a
fat.
he's got a toboggan on instead of a giant cap.
Yeah, yeah. It could be cool.
Fuck it,
He could come out. He could come out with Paul Bearer Jr.
he's bald. He has no hair, but wears a toboggan for
Yeah,
no
dude.
reason.
Yeah,
He's
he's bald
he's
and
short because Undertaker was 7 feet tall.
yeah, yeah, dude. He could be like a
Yo,
luchador.
do you remember when they
El,
had?
El Undertaker, Los Undertaker.
Do you remember when they did like the mini Royal Rumble? And they had like all the mini versions of like all the wrestlers coming out. Like they had the mini Batista, the mini Kane, and then after Hornswoggle was just beating all their ass, the Great Khali came out, and everyone thought it would be a mini one, and it was the big one. And I was like,
Yeah,
holy shit!
yeah, yeah. He's a big dude.
He was a really
I
fucking
think
big dude.
I think he was more athletic in the longest yard than he ever was in WWE. When he ran and jumped into the mud to have fun, you know.
It's really interesting too, because I don't ever remember. Obviously, I wasn't around for like any part of like the Andre saga, but I don't remember any like super big dude like that was ever like one of like the top guys. I mean, Big Show always got a pop, but he was never one of like a top guy. Undertaker was. I was gonna say Undertaker was 6'10", 6'11", but I mean like a 7+ footer.
Yeah, no, because I don't think they can last long, and
That's my point.
because of the
Yeah.
body and shit. But like the Great Khali, like when he dove into the mud on the longest yard, I'm like, dude, that's the most athletic thing I've ever seen you do. But apparently, before he got to WWE, he was super athletic in India.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I remember hearing stories about like when Andre first started, he could do a standing backflip from the top rope and land it, and I'm like,
yeah,
at 7'8" or 7'14", whatever you were, 500 pounds,
well, like,
doing this shit's nuts.
Big Show did like a moonsault in WCW, and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
dude, don't do that again.
Do you know how expensive these rings are?
Kill yourself and kill someone else.
Dude,
But I'm glad we're live. I'm glad we're live where to a point where my dad has to tell me that he's going to Kroger.
Nice.
So anything happen. Just like the WWE, anything can happen in the Legends Clubhouse. My dog is barking. My dad's telling me shit. I'm like, cool. I'm live.
Dude, there was the time my sister barred in and needed some toilet paper, man. Dude, fucking.
Yeah. You stuck it at your head or whatever.
I
remember that.
One of the random things that speaking of wrestling that I never understood how they could, in quotations, set it up. Whenever they would do like the superplex between two big dudes and the ring would collapse.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the first time that happened because I wasn't a wrestling, like I watched it every now and again, but like when Brock and Big Show did it in like 2000, what was it, 3, 4, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
I remember in 2011 it was on Vengeance, just another small one-off promo name, or pay-per-view name, and that was when Mark Henry was doing like the Hall of Pain. And him and Big Show did the superplex, and the fucking ring collapsed. And that wasn't even the last match, because then I think it was Cena and Alberto had like a last man standing match. And fucking Cena jogged out to do like his slide thing through the ring, and just kind of just stopped and was staring at the ring. Because once again, like, how the fuck are we gonna fight in this slanted ass ring?
Yeah, obviously the ring is somewhat gimmicked. I'm wondering if it was like they pulled something or they pushed a button where it would collapse or something.
In a certain way. Dude,
yeah.
Do you remember a couple years ago when Brock came out with the fucking...
yeah.
And
I was going to say a forklift, but it wasn't a forklift. It was like a fucking...
It was a damn...
dirt.
Dude, basically, and fucking he flipped
I'm
it.
a construction worker. I don't have my Tonka toys anymore, so I don't know what... I
my
don't know which truck that was.
my Tonka toys. Yeah, and he flipped the ring with Roman in it, and Roman
Yeah, that was
fucking
awesome.
dude. It's really, once again, it's so interesting, the storylines and the characters and how certain matches and certain segments have like their own producers in the back and stuff like that.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
it's really special as to how all that shit, can come down to, being a specific thing. And once again, speaking of wrestling, since it's kind of a Wildcard Wednesday and we're on the topic of wrestling, what'd you think of Raw and
So
how they handled, Seth's injury?
so my so the Lions were on at the same time. So I was
Right.
watching Raw on my laptop and watching the Lions game at the same time. So a lot of it I didn't listen to.
Mhm.
And my buddy goes, did you hear Becky Lynch's promo?" And I was like, "No." And he goes, "It was awesome." And I was like, he's like, "You got to look it up." I go, "Well, usually him and I both think Becky Lynch kind of sucks."
Mhm.
I just don't like I just think she's terrible on the mic. Like I hate, like, as soon as she says, whatever, the man has come around to your city or whatever, and I'm like, the way she says it, I'm like, dude,
Do
that sounds just so stupid.
Do you think it's
So
her accent or the gimmick itself?
a little bit of both. To be honest with you, that's why
Yeah.
I think like the Asian wrestlers don't get over here. I think that's why a lot of the lucha wrestlers don't get over here because they can't speak English, or they can't, like, when you can't speak English, dude. Like, it's like, okay, like I liked how they, for a little bit, they were doing the Shinsuke stuff with like subtitles.
Mhm.
I like that because it's like, okay, you're not forcing him to like try to speak English and sound, broken or whatever, and you can understand every word that he says and people can get behind it.
Mhm.
um I think that's the main reason why I don't think a lot of these big names from other, like New Japan or AAA or whatever, get over here, because it's like, okay, like, wrestling is great and all, but if you want to just do a bunch of flips and shit, go to AEW. If you need to talk and actually have a storyline, and people think, people that care more about the action outside the ring,
Mhm.
or the story that's being told, then it's kind of a struggle. But with Becky Lynch, it's the whole, like I said, like, I think she was hot for about 6 months after she got her nose busted by Naya, and I just don't think, I think it kind of ran its course after 6 months to a year,
Mhm.
and I don't she's kind of been there since. Um, but I just don't like that, in the, like, Cody's got the, so what do you want to talk about with his lisp? He does the that. See, what do you want to talk about? It's a little better, but I don't like that either. Like, I like,
Mhm.
um I like LA Knights, like, let me talk to you, because it's like interesting,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, it's got like some flavor to it. But finally the man has come around to your city or whatever. I'm like,
It
it just takes me out of her promo as soon as she starts talking.
yeah.
And I don't know, man. I'm probably gonna sound a little sexist and a little biased, but a lot of the women can't cut good promos. It just takes me out of it.
Mm. And once again, that's why wrestling is awesome at the same time, because once again, there is a section of, men and women that just, they adore like the women's division, and they think, it's
Mhm.
awesome, and that's where, once again, everyone can have their favorite wrestlers, tag teams.
Yeah.
I don't think they're called divas anymore, but divas, they all have their own individual, preferences as to who they're captivated by and who they enjoy. But
You know who's great on the mic? Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley's great on the mic.
oh, dude, she's awesome.
Liv Morgan's great on the mic.
Yeah,
You know?
Alexa Bliss, great on the mic.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Charlotte Flair, depending on what she's talking about. I'm kind of sick of Charlotte Flair just because they pushed her to get to like so many fucking titles like her dad, like in
Mm.
such a span. And I'm just like, dude. And I don't like her and Alexa being the women's tag team champs. Like, this is nothing new. Like, as far as like, put two superstars together, two major superstars, and give them the tag team titles. I mean, like, fucking I believe Stone Cold and fucking Shawn Michaels were tag team champs at one point.
Yeah.
It's not a new concept, but I just don't believe them. Like I'm like, okay, like it's just like, you know, they're like, oh, they're frenemies and blah 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 and da da da. It just, I don't like it. I don't like the pairing of them two.
At a certain point, you have to be able to sell the storyline, and I don't know if it's being sold to the masses or the majority,
Yeah.
but I can see your point where the blueprint is always there. You know, if you have two top guys, or in this case girls, in theory, pair them together, put titles on them, and have them, you know, go. But another thing, they have to be two top guys or girls that mesh, and their characters mesh. And I feel like you bring up some good points as toward their characters and chemistry. It doesn't mesh.
Right. Yeah, it just seems forced. It doesn't seem like, you know, like Alexa Bliss is supposed to be this like gothic, like Bray Wyatt spin-off thing, and Charlotte Flair is supposed to just be the GOAT.
Yeah.
And, you know, above all, and she's the queen, and
they don't
all
really
this.
fit.
Yeah. Like it, you know, it would fit more if Charlotte, I think, was with someone who wasn't as established as Alexa Bliss, and she could just kind of boss her around and be like, look, I'm the fucking 37-time champion.
Do what the fuck I say.
Listen to me. Yeah. And we'll go places. And then, you know, it could be like a chick from like NXT or something that, you know, is, you know, no pun intended, but finding the ropes. And you know, she could be like, oh well, you know, I gotta listen to Charlotte because, and then you know, when she stops listening to her, then they lose the titles, then they have a feud, then you elevate someone, you know,
then you have it set up for from a potential 4 to 6 month storyline. You have it from a 4 to a year storyline, because you can build that. You can build like from the boss to the turn to the stop to the I'm gonna do my own thing, and then the feud, and that can last a year.
So, with the vision, you know, kind of turning back to your first point about the vision, it's interesting because like okay, so what I pictured them doing, like Seth's obviously hurt, so they vacated the title. What I thought they were gonna do is either have a new leader, which it doesn't seem like they're going to be doing because like it looks like they're going to be trying to push Braun Breaker to the moon. The one thing that I didn't buy in the promo, did you see your Paul Heyman's promo?
With him and Becky in the back, or just his in general?
His in general, with the two of them in the ring.
No, I didn't.
So he said something about like Brock, like because he was like going through like, oh, you know, Brock Lesnar and CM Punk and Roman Reigns.
They were my guys. You listen to me. I'll take you main event XYZ. Yeah.
But he mentioned that he's like, I always knew Bronson Reed was better than Roman, and you're like, really, dude? Like, I know that's your guy, but like,
I don't believe your shtick. Yeah.
Because like Bronson Reed, he just got a victory over him, but Roman was a champion for fucking what, 5 years or some shit, like 4 years.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude. Like, you not at one point, at no point that did you think Bronson Reed was better than Roman Reigns. You just pick a different way to spin that. But what I would do is, you know, this, because I don't see Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker as just like two individuals. Like I think they need to add to that group. But I think they need to go in a different direction, not bring in a leader. Bronson, like, I think Heyman can just be the leader.
Yeah.
And like, you know, Bronson or Braun Breaker can just kind of be unhinged, and Bronson Reed can be like, you know, an enforcer. But they should bring in a tag team. And the tag team that I think they should bring in, if they're gonna keep this team together, is I almost said primetime players. The fucking Street Profits.
That would be really interesting.
Because the Street Profits they're a great tag team, but they haven't had, like, in the grand scheme of things, they haven't had much tag team success as far as titles. Like I think they've only been champions like 2 or 3 times.
Mm.
And um, if you get them behind Paul Heyman, and like people are gonna be like, oh, they don't need Paul Heyman because Montez can fucking talk like a motherfucker. Dude, so can CM Punk, and so did and Heyman still did shit for him.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you put the street team like the Street Profits in there, and this could be a really really cool faction. If not, I think you need to break up the Street Profits and have Montez be a main event guy because he can talk. He's athletic as fuck. He's a good wrestler. He's got like all the tools to main event a fucking WrestleMania. Like that guy, him and LA Knight probably are the best two promos in the WWE right now.
Mm-hmm. Outside of like your OGs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The what do you think that they do you think that they did a good job with how Seth relinquished it and them doing like the battle royal, and so it's going to be Jay versus Punk?
I wish they wouldn't have Jay versus Punk because I think Punk's gonna win.
Yeah. So who would you rather have put it with?
LA Knight for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I would have had LA Knight win the title. Like I would have had LA Knight win the title like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
But it's like he is. I think he's super deserving. I think he's still over. Like his music hits. There's a huge pop every time. Like it's like, what are they doing with this guy? He doesn't even get a mid card title. I mean, I think he had a little bit of a run with a United States title, but I feel like the United States title never gets as much credit as like the Intercontinental. I think it's like a
Mm-hmm.
kind of a lower card title.
It's
Um,
it's not as prestigious.
right, and I think that might be because it was a WCW/NWA title,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why they just don't value it as much.
Right.
But yeah, LA Knight, because like you said, Punk's probably gonna win because Seth was doing everything in his control to not let CM Punk win. I could see Jey Uso winning if like Becky Lynch gets involved and
Just to
like
fuck with Punk.
distracts CM Punk because she's like, I'm doing this for my husband. Like he said you were never gonna win the title, like you're never
Yeah.
gonna win the title.
That'd be really
On
funny.
watch. But I think they should have went somewhere else. I mean, Jay had it like, at first when Jay won the title, I'm like, okay, this is his Kofi Kingston moment where he's gonna win the title and he probably will never get back to it. But now I think he might get back to it. But it's just I don't know, man. There's so many ways you can go with this.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, I think Braun Breaker is going to be a future WrestleMania WrestleMania Hall of Famer, main eventer.
Yeah.
Everything's pointing to that, which cool with, man, cool with. He's a beast. I think they got. I think he's missing something though. I can't put my finger on it, but he's missing something. And once he gets that something, he's gonna be fucking awesome.
Yeah. It's not due to lack of athleticism, ring ability, mic skills, or anything
Hmm.
like that. Because once again, I mean, I assume it's just more reps.
Yeah.
Because I thought when I don't remember when he did it. It might have been during WrestleMania or something, or some event. But when he did the Steiner Math 2.0 promo, that shit was so damn funny.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Hmm.
Um. Absolutely. Um. But yeah, man. One of those guys.
Yeah,
I,
it's
I dude, like I said, man, there's people that I have like a soft spot in my heart for, and it's like LA Knight, fucking Uncle Howdy. I wish they would do something with him, dude. Like I wish like why have like one of the greatest premieres in wrestling history where like
they
it
literally
was
just
literally
killed everybody.
and then nothing. I know I get injuries happen, but like there's enough
Hmm.
in that group and enough that you could do outside the ring to like really get them over.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, John Cena's last shit's coming up. Maybe he wins it. I don't know how, but maybe he would win that belt.
When I don't see them giving it to him for an 18th time.
No, me either. I think Randy might be the guy that ultimately leaves with that record
That's what
because
I
I think
think
he's
too.
still, like I think he's still got probably 5 years left.
Dude, I saw something the other day, and it was like he just re-upped to like a whole another like